Oh, good evening, everybody. Or for those of you who are joining us today, I know for a lot of you it's been a while since I've been able to give you guys a stream, but I'm glad that I'm able to come back today and give you another cast, another stream, another game for the European Rainbow Six Siege League, or the ERSL for short. How's everybody doing today? I know probably a few of you are just tuning in. How's everybody today? Do drop me a message in chat so I can see who's coming back, see who's stuck around and waited for me to get my ass back into the into the casting game. I've had a few days off, both intentionally and unintentionally. There's been a lot of games that I was supposed to have casted since I last did one, but unfortunately they have been postponed or cancelled or rescheduled, so unfortunately I haven't been able to do as many as I would have liked. But hey ho, here we are today where we will see Zodiac B take on Black Angels eSports. I'm just sorting out all the information for the stream and dropping out some pings to everybody, make sure they know the game is now live, and as soon as that's all done, we'll get into this game. Fortunately, the lobby's nice and full, nice and early on, so we'll get in super quick to this one, so hopefully you're not stuck waiting around for too long. But we'll just have to wait and see. Bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. But like I say, who do we have in the chat today? How is everybody doing? Who's dropped by to say hi today? 1 second, everybody. I believe I see a Franco there. Hi, Franco. How you doing, buddy? Who else have we got? Anybody else tuning in today? Anybody else looking forward to the game? I certainly am. Certainly going to be a good one to polish off? To prepare my vocal cords for further casts. I believe I may have one tomorrow, but we'll just have to see, of course, whether that one goes ahead. As like I say, several of the ones that I've been intending to do over the past few days have unfortunately been cancelled. However, today though, we are now ready to go with this one. We've got 9 of you in so far. Welcome everybody. How you doing, Unique or Zombie Slayer? What would you prefer to be called by on Twitch? Let me know. Anyway, we are going to be kicking this one off straight away and nice and soon on this one, so let's get into it straight away. Villa is the first map. We see Zodiac B taking on Black Angels eSports. Let's get this one underway and let's get my vocal cords nice and warmed up and ready to go. I've just had my dinner, so if at a few points I have to stop talking to take a sip of water or something like that, I do deeply apologise, but I will try and keep everything running as smoothly as possible. Speaking as smoothly as possible, let's get a prediction going for who will win in game number 1 today. Will it be Zodiac B, or will we see Black Angels be able to take this first map away from the Zodiac B team? This game, compared to several of the other ones that will be going on this week in the league, aren't quite as critical as you might expect for either of these teams. Black Angels have guaranteed themselves a playoff spot already, and Zodiac B unfortunately won't be able to get into the playoffs for this season. Maybe in future though they will be able to do so, but for this season they unfortunately have not qualified. So this is just a game basically to prepare Zodiac B for next season, get them a bit more playing experience, and for the likes of Black Angels to see if they can continue their unbeaten streak so far. They have drawn against a few teams. I believe one of them was Paradox, but all the other teams, most of the games that they have played, they have either ended up winning or drawing. They have no losses to date. If they come out of this one either with a draw or a win, they will remain undefeated and go into the final week of games facing off against RNS. RNS at this point are also currently sat with no losses to their name. They currently only have wins or draws. I believe mostly wins are on the side of RNS as they currently sit top of the league. So that will be a very big game to watch for the last week. Both of the teams will have made playoffs, but it's basically who's going to be the first team to come away with a loss, or will we see a draw between them? So both teams will then head into the playoffs with no losses to their name. Anyway, nice to see so many of you in chat today. I see Franco, Chanka, Maz, Ruben, Connor, Unique, Kyle, either or. He doesn't mind which one. Yeah, it's good to see you all in there today. The first site we are going to today is Dining Room and Kitchen, an interesting starting location for the likes of Black Angels. Black Angels on, well, a lot of maps, certainly Oregon is one that I can bring to mind right now, they do like to play every single bomb site, even the ones that most teams will just completely avoid. Most maps, there are, of course, the 4 bomb sites that everybody has access to, but a lot of teams like to just rotate around with 3 of them. However, Black Angels have proven to be one of those teams so far, every time I've casted them, every time I've watched their games, that do like to try spice things up a little bit and try a little bit of everything. So we'll just have to wait and see whether, of course, this starting position for them does pay off very well, or whether going down straight downstairs into the dining and kitchen will be their ultimate demise. Who knows which team will get warm quickest? We'll just have to wait and see. Anyway, a couple of shite-outs. Let's not accidentally start doing Freudian slips like that, Jacob. To start things off, I just have a few shout-outs to do. A couple of people who have dropped me a follow while I've been off the air, which I know has been for a few days. I do apologise for that, ladies and gentlemen. But I had to take a little bit of a break. I was a little bit tired the last weekend, and with a full 9-to-5 job and everything, I did need to take a small step back. But now I am back and hopefully able to do some more. But also some of the games that I was going to cast were unfortunately either cancelled or rescheduled, so I wasn't able to do them anymore. But hopefully both today, tomorrow, and possibly even Sunday, I have games ready to be casted. So this is basically a nice little warm-up for me. As I said, though, a couple of shout-outs I want to do. Inspector Batty, I believe I've already given you a shout-out already. Raidon R6, thank you very much. Unflickable as well, thank you very much. White Viper 179, thank you for the follow, my dude. And finally, TBH_Matty_DC, thank you very much for the follow. The initial push here coming out from Zodiac B, starting in the study area, top of the main stairs over on Villiers. You see the book has pushed all the way deep into Aviator, while you see the Twitch and the Ash stacking up on one another, beginning to take that 90 position. Most of the members of Black Angels are, of course, playing above or downstairs in sight. We currently see the Legion and the ERSL playing above, but oh, what a first opening kill. Jarno's Shadow picking up the first one for Zodiac B, surprising Federico on the Legion at the top of the red stairs there, shutting him down with the shotgun out. But instantly, well, not instantly refrag, but refrag back nice and quick. Kinks gets himself a double kill right there, but he's finally being shut down by the likes of Ruben. Ruben, though, missing a few shots on to the camera, while Penta downstairs does unfortunately take out, I believe it was FA Nova trying to vault into this bicycle storage room. He did have Diffuser as well, so Diffuser is in a very difficult position. Krusty Hall, though, on the window, who's proven so very strong and so very good for this team. I think certainly against the likes of Zodiac, this man was popping off. Hopefully he can do the same today and help carry his team either to a victory or certainly to a good defeat or a draw. That's one thing I'd like to see Zodiac be doing, as of course they are maybe considered to be one of the weaker teams in the league at the moment, is of course to start showing up big and bringing through some close games, even if they do eventually end up in losses for them. We don't want to see them getting 7-0'd. I certainly don't want to see them getting 7-0'd because it's not as fun for me to cast, it's not as fun for you guys to watch. We want to see some interesting games, so let's go with this one today. Ruben playing down in the Skylight Hallway has picked himself up 2 kills so far, now opening the first Castle Barricade. Still has a couple of Ash charges in pocket to open up some more, but does get spotted out. Meanwhile, Krusty Hall trying to push in from the pantry side is meleeing that Castle Barricade. It's a 2v2 situation, but Krusty Hall is left on the tiniest slither of health. Just a single bullet could put him out of his misery. Meanwhile, though, Ruben is getting in a gunfight with the castle as he pushes in through Memorial. And the Jaeger, just completely oblivious to the fact that Ash pushed in, gets a double kill from Ruben. Pushing in a nice 4k to start off the round. Ruben helping Zodiac B secure their first round against Black Angels in this best of 2 on Villa. Just to summarise. Well, Chanka's certainly rooting for Zodiac today, so let's see whether that works out. Although you're rooting for Zodiac, but you've put your points on Black Angels. Tut tut tut. What a two-faced liar you are. I joke. Oh, dear me. Anyway, glad to have so many of you tuning in for today's stream. Thank you all for sticking around and, of course, coming back to watch this one with me today. Yeah, it is a win-win indeed, Chanka. But yes, thank you everybody for coming back. We haven't maybe got the viewers that we maybe wanted. We currently only have 5 people in here, but any viewers at this point is very much welcome. And this, of course, isn't necessarily the highlight game of either this week or this league in general, but it's still going to be a good one to watch, I think, as a lot of people, of course, 98% of you so far in the predictions have put your money on Black Angels getting the win, but already after only one round, we have seen Zodiac B taking that advantage and winning it, not necessarily convincingly, but certainly in quite a strong fashion. So that's very good to see coming out from the Zodiac B team. They haven't been in this league far too long. They haven't been together all that long. Black Angels certainly have a lot more experience as this roster together. So it's good to see that Zodiac B have, of course, improved from their earlier days. And they do have a pretty decent team on it here. They've taken the main Zodiac team to some very close games. I think Zodiac, the main team, did manage to win out those ones in the end. I can't remember to be exactly, so apologies if I'm wrong. But also against the likes of Paradox and even Counteract in the Galactic League, Zodiac B have done an incredibly good job of keeping these teams honest. They're not a complete pushover squad, and they certainly have some stuff that they want to show. And of course, so far Black Angels have been on the receiving end of that, as of course the first round has gone the way of Zodiac B. You see Kinks at the moment hiding here in the corner right by the fireplace. Jarno Shadow is droning in. He does know that the Legion's there. They have him on ping. He's live pinging, but do they realise how close the Bandit of Kinks is in this study room? No, they don't. The Twitch starts pushing in to start contesting, but the Bandit swings. Doesn't quite manage to land all the shots. She's now in a safe position, but she's being pincered on both sides. And eventually Federico does take her down. Jarno maybe could have got off his drone a little bit sooner there and been able to contest it, but instantly swings the study door, collecting the head of Kinks, meaning that that trade was made relatively well. Certainly does leave the teams relatively evenly balanced, of course, both in a 4v4, but does Jarno still realise that the likes of Federico is still behind in sight? Prefire coming out through the wall from the 90 repel from the likes of Ruben. Does connect Federico, but not enough to currently take him down, as now the call has come out and Jarno is beginning to push in, trying to work out exactly where this man is. They are so close together, either side of this door right here. If only they knew that maybe one of them would swing, as we see now Jarno swinging right here. He does see the Legion, but doesn't manage to react in time. Gets put down on his arse by Federico, 25 health to his name. The impact nade being used to finish him off right there. As now he continues holding this position, the numbers have now gone back in favour of Black Angels. Has Ruben managed to get into the building? Yes, he has, but he's currently on the bottom of the red stairs. He sort of just left Jarno to his own devices to try and, of course, pick up those kills. Unfortunately, not the best thing to do. FA Nova as well, on quite a big roam with Diffuser in hand at the moment, currently sat in the library position behind the desk. Is this necessarily the right play with Diffuser in hand and only 1 minute left on the clock? But Ruben now has picked up Federico, who is rotating down those red stairs, meaning that the numbers are now very much even once again. 3 members alive on each team as we head into the final 45 seconds of this round. He is slapping down below. I believe that's the likes of Krusty Hawk currently trying to open up that cast barricade. He eventually does it. Obviously the Ashe, having used all of her breach charges, does mean that they can't be used to open up. There are 3 Ace charges still on side that can be used to open up some of those walls, but maybe they're leaving them to open up some of the reinforced walls. A good swing there from FA Nova, collects the likes of Pence, who was just trying to run back into sight. Unfortunately never made it. Nice little bit of pre-fire coming out from FA Nova. Another good shot, collects the head of Kaylee. And now it's a 3v1. Psycho is left in this very unfortunate position. He does have time on his side. The plant has to go down. FA Nova does begin to do this behind the A-bomb. 2 remaining members of his team covering from either side. But as the likes of Psycho pushes up, Ruben gets the long angle all the way from by the, what's it called? Jukebox machine? It's not a jukebox machine, but you know what I mean. Event does pick up that kill at the end. Securing round number 2 for Zodiac B. Sure, I'll allow that message, Connor. Just about. I've got stuff turned on, so it picked up the word fatty. I'll allow that. Does Elemental notice me? Of course I notice you, Weasty. If BAE lose, they can't win the league phase. Indeed they can't, Connor. So, we will have to see exactly whether Black Angels can, of course, start bringing some of this momentum back. Sometimes in previous games that I have watched where they've played, they do take a little bit of time sometimes to get going. So, maybe we'll see a bit of a late spur from them on this one, but we'll just have to wait and see. So far, though, Zodiac B showing that they mean business right here, with, of course, so far Ruben showing a big 6 kills so far to his name. However, if I recall back to the Zodiac B versus Counteract game that I casted on this very map, Ruben was on about 6 or 7 kills by like round number 2, round number 3. But then by the time that the game had ended, unfortunately he hadn't got any further kills, and he was still one of the highest highest level member of his team. So maybe he's had a good start. Hopefully he can continue this forward, but certainly previously we'll just have to wait and see on that one. I'll allow that one as well. What can't I say? It's the specky one, but I'll allow it. If it's anything worse than that, yeah, it's getting denied, but I'll allow that because I know you Chanka as well. If it was someone else saying that, then maybe I would be a little more harsh, but as I know you, I know it's just meant in a loving way. Well, not, you know what I mean. Anyway, this time now we've seen Black Angels giving up on that downstairs kitchen hold and deciding to come back upstairs onto one of the more normal sites, the statutory trophy room to be exact. One member is currently on the roam. I thought it was Psycho, but no, instead it's Kinks all the way downstairs in the piano room. He does hear a wall getting broken as Psycho on the other side of the map does pick up a kill. I believe swinging onto that master bedroom window, and indeed does manage to collect the Zofia, who was playing outside. Unfortunately taking her off the board early for the likes of Zodiac. Kinks so does lose quite a bit of health there, but I believe being pressured by the likes of Ruben, and there we go. Ruben does eventually secure that kill, putting the numbers back in favour of his team. Jono has joined in from above, starting to push into the study area. Now moving to take the top of red. There are no members of Black Angels playing in this position, which of course helps Jono, especially since I don't think he necessarily droned it out. And he's now been joined by Ruben, who has come upstairs. In fact, Jono did look like has droned out because he has a drone currently whizzing around in 90. All 4 remaining members of Black Angels are situated on site or very close. Of course, astronomy isn't technically site, but it basically is with the way that you hold this one down. Certainly the hold that they are currently applying on this one. It does look like FA Nova has tried to open that wall, but unfortunately they did the impact trick on the top of it, removing those ace charges, meaning that that wall will remain closed for the foreseeable future. But the castle barricades aren't quite as safe as Federico takes an absolute butt ton of damage there from Wolf. I believe that was either from Ruben or Jarno who landed those shots onto him. Either way, he's now playing super close, just waiting for it. FA Nova, though, does swing in through the door and collect the head of Penta as he does so, being joined by Krusty. Push two men pushing from each location, or 2 women pushing from each location, covering each other, but the castle swing does collect the head of FA Nova as another kill falls. Krusty Horde does manage to refrag one though, meaning that they are still ahead. The side of Zodiac B are still ahead, and a down coming out from Federico does mean that Jarno is taken off the board in Wolf. Of course, Federico proving to us that even though he's only got 10 health left, he still has a gun in hand and it can do a lot of damage. And here we see Kaylee holding a cheeky little angle there, getting a double kill by taking out Krusty as he tries to push in. Ruben now left in a 1v2 and on about 10 health as well. Who will win in this 10 health fight, Federico or Ruben? It certainly looks more in favour of Black Angels right here, but will Ruben do a madness? Just have to wait and see. Looks like they're just playing passive at this point, just waiting for him to push in. 5 seconds left on the clock. He does swing into statutory. Pre-fire's coming out, but doesn't manage to find any head as the side of Black Angels is just playing passively. And as the round ends, we see Black Angels get their first one on the board. Oh, fair enough. Yeah, I know. It does seem that the bot that I've got on my channel, Connor, it does pick up on some words that we would all consider not that offensive, but of course for some streams they would be considered offensive, so I think that's why they've got the tool in there. But for words such as fatty, technically specky, not really, but I know because Chanka's used it, it's all good. Hopefully it gives me those options in future so that if there are people that are using it offensively against people, then I can get rid of it. Chunky Monkey appears to be fine for some reason. There you go. Who would have thunk? Who would have thunk? Anyway, now that Black Angels did win on the top floor, they're just avoiding Aviator Games. Obviously, they're not very comfortable there, but I would argue give it a go since they've lost now this kitchen dining site twice in a row. And certainly both times they may have got a little bit of an advantage, but at the very end, they still didn't look that much in control. So, we'll just have to see what they can do. Excuse me. With this one, for the 3rd time of trying, everybody does say though that 3rd time lucky, so we'll just have to wait and see whether that will be the case for the Black Angels side as they revisit once again the dining and kitchen site. A little bit of an alternative op being brought out here. Does seem like Christy Hall has decided to instead go for the Iana rather than the Nomad. Instead, RX, Rafty, Rusty, how am I going to say that? I'm not sure, I'm just going to call him RX for now. Has swapped out onto the Nomad instead of Krusty. Of course, maybe a swap around on the operators that you're playing might be exactly what this team needs to, of course, bring some of the players that haven't really done too much so far, the likes of Krusty and Rafty. Will hopefully bring them alive, as we do see Krusty using that Iana gadget very well, currently just droning on into sight. Does get mute jammered though, which of course does completely disrupt the Iana clone that wanders in. We also do see the likes of Penta once again on a roam upstairs, this time though using the Malusi, having of course used his devices in sight, so if he dies, the utility that he does bring to the board isn't completely wasted. Free Fast coming out on the study door does manage to do a tiny bit of damage onto Jarno's Shadow, who is now actually playing the Zofia rather than the Book. A drone now being out on 90 does mean that Jarno knows he can begin pushing up, start applying this pressure on to the likes of Penta above. Also being currently split push by the likes of Ruben. They're just trying to find Penta at the moment. Penta holding a close angle by the end of the dining bar. And unfortunately it's looking in the wrong direction, so the angle from Ruben from the vault does mean he's quite easily taken out. At the same time, the opposite side of the map, FA Nova does manage to kill one through that hole that he's now opened up in Pantry. And oh no, a bad flash grenade. Fortunately though for FA Nova, he does manage to turn around in time, so Rafty doesn't blind his teammate. Jarno also picks up another one. That's Kinks off the board, and it's now a 2v5 for Black Angels. This site is just not working for them today, as we now see it go 5v1. The only way that Black Angels will now win this one is if Kaylee manages to score himself an ace. Currently been absolutely littered from all angles. That is not going to happen, and instead a flawless round coming out from the side of Zodiac. Be a very, very good performance from them right there. Once again proving that I think Black Angels just need to avoid this site. They can't defend it, at least against Zodiac B. Maybe they could do it against other teams, but right now, today versus Zodiac B, it ain't happening. It ain't happening for them for whatever reason, and looks like they've learnt their lesson, finally deciding to go to Aviator Games instead. Hopefully Black Angels can now start turning this around, as you would. They did pick the defensive side as well. This isn't Zodiac B's choice of side that they wanted to start on. Of course, they may be better suited to the attack rather than the defense. So we'll just have to wait and see how this all plays out. But yeah, it's just very strange. It's very strange that the fact that it's Villa, which was Zodiac B's choice of map, so it's one that they are obviously comfortable with. But for the side of Black Angels, even if they're maybe not as comfortable with it, they did get their starting side pick. And with them choosing defense, currently at the moment, of course, the defender meta is quite sort of biased towards the defenders. Of course, you've seen that by some of the introduction of changes that are possibly going to be coming through in future seasons for Siege, where, of course, attackers can go back onto their drones. It will also work for the defenders, but, of course, there's less operators that can be useful for. Only like Echo and Maestro that, of course, can really use that to their advantage, and Mozzie, of course, but mostly is going to give a massive boost to the attacker's side. So, with that being said, the fact that, of course, we're currently seeing this scoreline going 3-1 in favour of the attacking side of Zodiac B does suggest that maybe just the likes of Black Angels aren't very comfortable on this map. We'll just have to see whether this improves as they continue forward. An Echo drone there being thrown out by, I believe, Psycho. Does almost get shot out as it falls right in front of that study door as a pre-fire comes out from the likes of Zodiac B, just trying to push onto it. Krusty Hall has now pushed in, but he's currently just using his Iana drone. They've droned out some of the utility there, and is there actually an ADS covering this shield at the top of main? There's a Malusi device, but no ADS. That shield should be very easily got rid of, but Krusty Hall has been taken down. This was the angle from the master bedroom, going to be played by, I believe, Penta. Yes, indeed it was. Penta takes out Krusty Hall, getting a nice early pick for his team, which is exactly what they need as they push on. Kaylee now pushing down the red stairs, trying to just hold this position as best he can. The push, though, from Zodiac B does seem mostly to be focused on this study side. You do see the Book going below, playing the vertical quite well, starting to open up these walls. Or at least get the utility off it, allowing the ace of FA Nova to drop those ace charges on into sight, get those walls open so they can start pressing the advantage. The pull should really come out though from the red stairs, but as I say that, Kaylee has now pushed out from the red stairs, but does sort of lose that gunfight, walking away with less health than he started with. Flashbang going in over, trying to push Psycho off that shield, allowing Jarno to push up and take out that Malusi device. He has now done it safely. Another flash comes out. Unfortunately, he does flash Psycho. He turns the wrong way as it bounces behind him, even though he thought it was going to land in front of him. And now he's fallen back into sight, completely giving up that shield at the top of the stairs. But also, Jarno Shadow has now rotated to start pushing up red instead. Legion is still playing on there as FA Nova does get a refrag back. And all of a sudden, 3 kills fall very quickly in favour of Zodiac B. And there we go, 4. All of a sudden, there we go. Zodiac B now have full control of site. Penta is currently behind on a flango. Does pick up 2. Gets a double kill. Does get the down onto the Ash of Ruben, but unfortunately isn't able to finish it off. FA Nova, though, has got sight with the likes of Rafty, so they are getting the plant down. This has now been done. A triple for Penta. Can he get, of course, the full ace to clutch out and win this round? Now left in a 2v1 does mean it's not impossible, but it's certainly not looking in his favour right now. 30 seconds left on the clock. He does swing the angle, but eventually Rafty does win it with a nice headshot from the Nomad, playing on that long haul 90. Does, of course, pick Penta up and secure round number 4 of 5 rounds played for Zodiac B. So far, I'm really enjoying this game. I don't know about you guys, but I certainly wasn't expecting to see Zodiac B coming out swinging quite as hard as they were today. But it's great to see. Zodiac B, of course, starting off in this league not all that long ago. So it's nice to see how much they've already improved. And of course, the team, the more that they play, the maybe new players that they get in, maybe a couple of transfers that they've made here and there, will eventually mean that, of course, they do have a very strong roster and maybe can challenge for some of those top spots. Of course, at the moment, all they can do is, of course, change the positioning of the top 5 that go through to the playoffs. Currently, Black Angels are in a position to possibly make it to finishing the league in first place, depending on, of course, how their final game versus RNS goes. But at the moment, if they lose this game, this could even improve the chances for the likes of Paradox to move up to 3rd position, and may even see Black Angels drop down into 4th position in the in the top 5, which could of course massively change what happens in the quarters, as the changing of the top 5 will result in, of course, different teams needing to play each other in the quarterfinals and then, of course, into the semis. So this is a very interesting game to watch, even though the result doesn't necessarily matter for either of these teams making or not making playoffs, but it could definitely change the outcome and what we get to see game-wise in the playoffs when we eventually get there. Not too far now. We are only, after this week, we have 1 week of normal games to be played, and then we will be into the playoff week. So lots of excitement. Still plenty of games to go. We'll just have to wait and see how we get there. Penta, though, breaking open the barricade in study, trying to look for another cheeky angle. The opposite direction this time to where he was playing previously. Breaking that barricade, of course, not actually destroying the glass on it. Zofia there, using one of her charges to actually open up the study door. Maybe not the play in my personal opinion, because of course that is now a bit of utility that cannot be used elsewhere. C4 being prepped, it's fired off, and it does kill the likes of Jarno Shadow, who had actually pushed in, and also does a hell of a lot of damage onto Rafty. Now see Jarno Shadow there, absolutely splayed out. He's obviously had a good night, just absolutely laid out flat on that sofa. Not quite the quad feed that I was able to get on this map versus one of the teams, but as I say that, Rafty is able to actually eventually avenge his dead teammate, taking out the likes of Penta, but Federico quickly answers back, putting Black Angels back in a 4v3 situation, taking the head clean off Christy Hall as he pushes, starts being quite aggressive on that single door into Statutory from the master bedroom. Little quick knife peek coming out there from Federico, trying to bait out some shots coming out from the master bedroom door, but nobody bites on that. What on earth happened there? Oh, Ruben didn't actually pick it, but Kaylee, excuse me, currently playing on the back stairs, does manage to pick up the likes of FA Nova underneath that castle barricade by the looks of it. Looks like the angle was being held underneath the castle barricade, so is able to pick up the likes of FA Nova as he pushes into the bathroom. A good hold now coming out from Black Angels, does see them in a 4v2 situation. Rafty is not looking very healthy, and Ruben is maybe on full health, and as I say that, commentator's curse, Kinks does finally polish off a Rafty, meaning that Ruben is left in a 1v4 situation. This will not be for the ace, as we did see the likes of, I believe, Rafty getting the only kill so far in this game. But certainly Ruben has a lot to do to try and win this one. A 1v4 is not something you're likely going to win, especially with all members on the side of Black Angels being as healthy as they are. He does have 30 seconds to get this done, though. Will we see him able to get another round for Zodiac be on the board? Oh my goodness. Man didn't want to walk into that corridor as he swings a corner. Goos go off, alarms go off, and instantly Kinks, who was happening to walk that direction anyway, is very easily able to polish off that final kill, securing Black Angels a second round. As we now head into the second half of this map. Currently Zodiac B do lead Black Angels 4 rounds to 2. But with both sides now swapping onto the opposite, so of course the offensive swapping onto the defense and the defense swapping onto the offensive, we will just have to wait and see whether this completely changes the outcome of this game. Will Zodiac B be able to hold it together on the defense, or is their attack much more well structured than the defense, so we may see Black Angels be able to get back some of those rounds that they've lost early on, build that momentum and maybe eventually win this one out, or will Zodiac, now that they've really not necessarily put their foot in it, but they've certainly put their foot down on the side of Black Angels, saying, we're here, we're ready to play some Siege, come beat us. And currently they are winning this one, so let's hope they can continue this forward and go for the victory in the first of their best of 2. Second map we will be going to tonight will be Cafe. So that's a good map to look forward to. I certainly know that's one that Black Angels do enjoy playing quite a lot. They are quite difficult to play around it, especially as they do some alternative strategies, and that's once again another of those maps that, as I've said before, they do like playing alternative strategies on it, and also using every single site on the map. Not just the 3 that most people normally rotate through, but all 4. So we'll have to see how that game goes. For now, though, we will continue focusing on Villa, as we do see a double Goyo Shield setup on the top of the master stairs, or the main stairs, sorry, where the likes of FA Nova will be playing around at the moment. FA Nova is one of those players that so far, haven't necessarily seen him too much in this league, but from what I have seen in this league, that he is deadly with that Vector in his hands. Miro and Goyo are favourites of his, and certainly can prove incredibly good, incredibly powerful, and incredibly deadly with the likes of that Goyo Shield. Putting the Goyo Shield on the 90 hallway does mean it's very easily shootable, and if I remember rightly, the likes of Penta was actually playing on the Repel, could very easily, has droned out the dock, but could also very easily take out this Goyo Shield, completely denying that utility, and just getting rid of the usefulness of that shield in this very strong 90 position. Of course, with it positioned where it is, it can very easily be shot from the window. But will we actually see Penta bothering? At the moment, he's just providing intel for his team, as we see most of them have pushed in through the master bedroom side, and are currently holding positions by the statutory door at the top of red, and also just outside Wolf Connector. We do see below the lights of Jarno's Shadow sneaking around underneath as Diego does hear those, does hear those Nomad traps, but unfortunately, well, doesn't walk into any of them just yet. Is now being pressured on the red stairs. Does take a little bit of damage, but does walk away with most of his health still intact. That was being attacked by the likes of not Federico, I do apologise. I believe it was Kinks. There we go. Kinks with the G8. G8, am I right? The quick feed there from Kinks does see the smoke, but of course peeks at the wrong time, so isn't able to actually pick that one up. Jarno Shadow has now walked into a Nomad device. Sound callers come out as Penta Rapney does pick up the first opening kill for the side of Black Angels, as we also now see the lights of Kinks all the way rotating all the way around to the back hallway, expecting to find the Jaeger, but the Jaeger has already buggered off and gone for a full rotate all the way up red. Will he now be surprised from behind by the lights of the IQ, or will he surprise his ace? Unfortunately, he doesn't surprise the ace. Penta does pick him up for a double kill, as now the execute starts happening on site. With about 40 seconds left, Black Angels certainly using the time very well, and now with an injure onto Ruben, they start attacking on this site. The Zoff jumps in, the ace starts opening up that wall a little bit more so it's not a multiple hole. He runs in, vaults the shield and starts planting behind the desk. Krusty Horde does manage to get one for the side of Zodiac B, but Psycho does instantly trade that back, and finally Federico pushes around, claims the dock at the top of the main stairs. Winning my goodness, I just had a stroke. Winning round number 7 for Black Angels. Is this the start of their offensive comeback? that will see them win this very first map. I'm not too sure yet. I certainly think there's a lot more that Zodiac B can bring to the table. But we'll just have to wait and see till the very end of this one. Only one more round from Black Angels, and they will have tied this one with Zodiac B after such a strong start. But there's still plenty of rounds to be played, at least minimum of 3. And that's if Zodiac B are able to win the next 3 and take us straight to the end of this map. Of course, there are many more rounds still able to be played on top of that, if of course we do see a bit of back and forth between these two teams. So I'm looking forward to seeing exactly what the scoreline will be by the end of this map number 1. And so far it's shaping up to be quite a spicy one. Zodiac B opting to go for the dining room and kitchen site, deciding that now that they've lost the top floor, that they're going to try something completely different, and maybe they're going to prove why they were so good at attacking this site, because maybe they have such a good defense on here, so they know how to take it apart. Maybe that's why they broke through the defense of Black Angels on this very site 3 times on the trot. We will just have to wait and see on this one. Relatively simple setup coming out here from the side of Zodiac B. Does seem like there's a lot of reinforcements still on the board that they haven't used, but are they doing an extension up to the top floor? No, they're not. So some of those reinforcements could be used elsewhere at the moment, but doesn't seem that they are. Mozzie on quite a big roam at the moment. Has obviously been placing down, by the looks of it, all those pests somewhere else on the map. Maybe trying to deny those drones on the far side, and already he's managed to pick up 2 on the far south side, maybe expecting that that's where the push was going to be coming from on the side of, Black Angels. Instead though, they've decided that they're going for a master bedroom take and focusing all their attention on the north and the eastern side at the moment. One member though of K Ali is currently droning in for his team outside the Wolf window, so we'll just have to wait and see as the likes of Ruben on the Mozzie does take a lot of damage from that astronomy repel. He's now being pressured by almost every single player on Black Angel's team as a drone just chases him all the way back down the red stairs. Run, Ruben, run! He's now safely back in sight, but that does mean that the top floor control has now been completely given up to the side of Black Angels, and we see them starting to take this already. Penta and the Psycho already taking astronomy. Penta running around all over the place. I'm surprised that there's not more intel up here. They can maybe use 4 C4s through the floor. However, soon they're going to start knowing exactly where they're playing as a breach hole is beginning to be opened up by the likes of Psycho. The sledge as well of Kinks is coming in and starting to open up that floor. Looks like the vertical is going to be a key playing point for the side of the Black Angels team. A nice bit of retaking here could be quite useful, but with Nomad still on the board from the Black Angels team, they probably won't be able to push up any of the staircases, and it does look like Nomad has used all of her Nomad devices and, of course, has stopped every single staircase that you can use to get up to the top floor from being pushable. It does mean that the members of Zodiac B are now sort of pincered within the site, but 2 have managed to make it out. You do see the likes of FA Nova playing over towards that bike storage, and Ruben once again has managed to get himself out on that road, starting to push out through living room into library, and maybe eventually going upstairs and trying to retake the top floor right towards the very end. Does Ruben realise he does actually have 2 drones though? I'm not quite sure, as Federico manages to open up that angle at the top of the memorial room, eventually taking the life of FA Nova off of the board and securing the opening frag for the side of Black Angels. Like I say, Nomad's covering most of these staircases, so it's going to be quite difficult for the members of Zodiac B to actually get upstairs. And with 30 seconds left on the clock, we should actually start seeing Black Angels starting to rotate downstairs and deciding how to get inside. As I say that though, we already see the Zofia has started to take Memorial and instantly takes the head off Jarno, who's playing close to that A-bomb. The Ace is now in sight as well, starting to get the plant down. That's Penta Rafni. Rafty though does get himself a little headshot as Krusty Hoare is contested while the plant goes down. The plant does get stuck completely. Penta does stick it on the floor, and a nice swing there from the B-bomb does collect Krusty on the flank. Ruben gets Kinks, but Kinks also gets Ruben. There we go. A nice little trade there. Does leave Rafty though in a very unfortunate position. A 1v3 as he now tries to swing to Memorial. Shots missed on both sides, but eventually the Zofia of Psycho wins that one out and puts him on the floor. A second attacking round going in favour of the Black Angels team. Very close to the headshot there. I'm surprised that the Legion didn't actually die the first time round, but hey ho. Does seem that Zodiac B are a lot more confident on their defence. offense. As now on their defense, they just can't seem to get the momentum that they need, can't seem to get the picks, get the rounds that they need. Meanwhile, though, Black Angels do seem a lot more controlled, a lot more planned out, a lot more thought through on their pushes on the offensive. So, they've now brought this scoreline back to 4-4, 4 rounds apiece for each team. As we head into round number 9, still a lot to play for on both sides. 3 rounds need to be won by each team now to get to the win. Unless, of course, we reach overtime, in which case it'll have to be a few more than 3 wins. Or 3 round wins before we get to see the end of this map. So we'll just have to wait and see.
As many bombs as they can.
The site of choosing for the B team now on their 3rd defense is going to be the statutory and trophy room. I would argue that they've only lost each of these sites once. None of them have been full clappages, as I'm going to call them from now on. Don't at me. I'm going to call them clappages. Deal with it. But it does seem like, for some reason, that they're not sticking to the sites that they've tried to give them another go. As quite a few people that I know would argue that you need to try a site twice. It's only the second, certainly in a comp situation as well, it's only the second time of losing it that you should ever swap. Otherwise, you're just changing things up too quickly. You can't, of course, find the holes in your defense and fix them, or holes in your offense and fix them. But mostly talking about the defense here, because of course you can pick your defender's sites better than you can when you're attacking. Because funnily enough, the defenders pick, and when you're attacking, you can't pick the site that they're playing. If only you could, this game would be a lot more attacker-sided. Already though, we do see Federico applying a bit of pressure on into the astronomy room. I think one of the things that's hurting Zodiac B so far is they're allowing a lot of these drones to just stay alive and give away their positions. Like right there, you see the likes of Federico completely going off his drone. He is now cooking a nade. A ping has come out onto the position of that Malusi. He does eventually give it up though and decides to go back on his drone. The C4 has been thrown, but he's far enough away that it doesn't take him out. Hey y'all, Dark, how you doing, buddy? Or JR Forward, whichever one you want to be called. Now we do see the likes of Psycho and the ace of Penta have now pushed in and taken the master bedroom. There is a Jaeger playing below though, currently just trying to contest against the Ash. That's being played by FA Nova this time. He's looking the wrong way though. The Ash may come up behind him. That's the Ash of Kinks. Yes indeed he does. As I say that, he swings from the laundry room, now pushing on into dining. And does take FA Nova's head clean off. That is the roam completely destroyed. Kinkso does take a little bit of damage there. A grenade cooked by the likes of Federico does get cooked and thrown over that wall, unfortunately doing a bit of damage through the floor into Kinks, but nothing that won't buff out and a plaster won't fix. Shots coming out though from Federico as he prones on the floor, does manage to land some shots, but he does eventually get taken out by a clean headshot. I believe that was, no, it wasn't a team kill. It was the likes of Rafty who took his head off, but instantly traded back by the likes of Penta. That's why we sort to Penta's perspective. Krusty Hall has been downed by Kinks in the astronomy room, and now it's a 2v4 situation. Jono's still in the trophy site. Unfortunately, looks away at just the wrong time as Penta vaults into the room, so does get taken out. Penta's now going for the plant, and it's all up to Ruben in a 1v4 situation. Still playing below. So how exactly he's going to get back into sight, as indeed there is a Nomad charge sat down here waiting for him. The call does come out that he's playing below. If, of course, the sound cue is spot on, then they know exactly what position he's pushing from. So now Ruben has to make a decision of how he's going to play this. Currently, though, just seems to be playing quite passive, maybe letting the side of Black Angels come to him. But with the diffuser down, if he plays like this, he's definitely going to be losing out on this round. Maybe just using this as a bit of a tactical timeout to talk to the rest of his team, decide exactly what they want to be doing moving forward, decide where maybe they've gone wrong, maybe start planning out what they want to do on their next defense. But of course, with only 10 seconds left on the clock, Ruben's not going to win this one, unfortunately. Even if he was the best player in the world, there's no way he could manage to get all the kills that he needed. And of course, get inside and defuse. So, Psycho, though, does decide that he wanted a kill, so he decides to kill Kings. We did have one of the members of Zodiac B disconnect for a second, though, so I will do a quick pause after this round to let him join back. So we'll just have to wait and see on that one. I'll have a quick chat to you guys in the chat, though, while we're waiting for that. Just going to give a quick pause and make sure that the guy is able to join back. We'll just have to wait and see. Yep. Fair enough. Sounds like his PS4 has overheated. That is what I've now been told in my little ear, or should I say Discord. Unfortunately, I'm not quite that technical that I've got a little earpiece of people whispering sweet nothings to me while I'm casting for you guys. One day maybe I might, but for now, unfortunately, it's quite low tech, and I'm just sat here doing all of this on my own with the tech that I have, which, fortunately for me, my PS4 doesn't overheat. Otherwise, we may have issues with the stream, but fortunately not. Anyway, let's have a quick look at chat, see how you're all doing today. Nice to see 7 or so of you in at the moment. If, of course, there's anybody else that you know who would be interested in watching today's game, especially because it is actually a lot closer than maybe people were anticipating, then do feel free to drop them a link. It would be nice to see some new faces, some friendly faces, some old faces around in the chat, so anybody is welcome. So let them know that we are live if they want to come and watch. By the way, hey Beavish, how you doing, buddy? I see Karmaz as well, how you doing? Chanka's in there as always. And JR Forward has come along. One of my 4 subscribers. How you doing, buddy? Also, Connor was in here earlier. Can't, of course, forget to mention him. Thank you all for your subscriptions. And, of course, if anybody else is so inclined to drop a cheeky subscription, then by all means, I'm not gonna say no, not gonna deny you that privilege. But of course, it does cost you a bit of real world money. So if you don't want to spend any money on me, then that's absolutely fine. It's completely understandable. But if you haven't dropped a follow already, a follow would be greatly appreciated. Like I say, just having a pause while we wait for the member of Zodiac B to join back. Hopefully there won't be too long, but with the PS4 overheats, we'll just have to wait and see how long it takes for it to cool down and restart and boot up and everything. Of course, if it takes longer than like 5, 6, 7 minutes, then unfortunately we're going to have to probably continue without him, and he'll have to join back the following round. But for now, we're fine at just waiting while he joins back. If we win ERSL, I'll sub. Okay, challenge accepted, Chanka. Challenge accepted. That means we've all got to play better, though. Oh dear. Anyway, hopefully we will get the member of Zodiac B back into this one nice and quick. And we can get the ball rolling again with this one. Hopefully this break does allow Zodiac B maybe a little bit of time to, of course, discuss what they've been doing right, discuss what they've been doing wrong, and maybe start to bring a slightly better defense to the very strong offense that Black Angels have currently brought to this game. We'll have to see exactly how it pans out, as it does seem like Black Angels certainly have the better Zodiac B when they're on the attacking side. But there's still several rounds to be played, so we'll have to see exactly how this one pans out as we near the end of this first map. The second map we'll be going to today, I believe I said earlier, was Cafe. An interesting map, and certainly one that Black Angels have proven quite comfortable on. I believe in a 4v5 versus Expansion, they took them completely to overtime. Expansion were able to eventually win that one out, but that was just due to the numbers advantage that they held against the Black Angels roster at the time. On Cafe as well, I do believe they've either beaten or drawn with Paradox, I believe. I'm having flashbacks to that game, but I can't remember exactly who ended up winning that one. Either way, I certainly know that Cafe is a map that is quite comfortable for the side of Black Angels, so it's one that they are likely to do quite well on. Anyway, we now have Rafty back in this one, so as soon as he's able to pick an operator, I will get the timer unpaused and we'll be ready to get this one back underway. Round number 10, and let's go! Still, of course, got to go through the 6th pick. Who will be 6th picked up? I certainly think Federico might be swapping off the Monty, but then at the same time, it could be quite a strong play coming out now from the side of Black Angels. But as I expected, Federico is swapping off of that back onto the sledge that he's been playing so far. But yes, let's keep this one rolling. Oh, goodness me. I've forgotten how much hard work, the casting is at times. I'm currently incredibly warm in my room, and I don't dare risk opening a window because for those of you that live in the UK, it's currently blowing a hoolie outside is probably the best way of describing it. As, my goodness, it is very, 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 very windy at the moment and expected to remain very windy, as we're gusts of up to 70 miles per hour. I'm not sure whether that's been and gone or whether that's something that we're still anticipating, but certainly because of that, I'm scared to open a window in case either I get blown away out the window or the window just gets blown off its hinges. Either way, there's not much ventilation going on in my room, And it's currently about 24 degrees, so I'm a little bit hot. I wish I had some AC, but unfortunately not. So we'll just have to wait and see on this one. Zodiac B have decided, though, to go back down into the kitchen and dining site, wanting to give this one another go. Castle being quite a crucial pick on this site as well. Once again, FA Nova playing that role. I believe he played it before, or maybe he was on the Wamai instead. I can't remember. Anyway, a quick look at the scoreboards for all of you lovely people who are watching today. So far, Ruben is coming up big for his team so far, getting 10 kills. Quite a lot of them on the offensive, but also a couple on the defense. FA Nova also showing up big, 7 kills to his name. Krusty Hall maybe not showing up as big as he needs to right now, but certainly getting some kills here and there. 5 to Rafty and 4 for Jarno Shadow. 10 kills currently going the way of Penta, 8 to King, 6 to Federico, 3 to Cali, and 4 to Psycho. Certainly the members of the Black Angels roster who you'd expect to be doing quite well, the likes of Penta and Kinks, have of course got themselves quite a lot of kills. And hopefully of course this carries on. Was that Federico nearly killing himself with that hand grenade? I do believe it was. A little bit unfortunate there that he did lose over 25 hit points to that nade if it was his own. But of course does walk away with a bit of health. And FA Nova gets the opening pick onto the Psycho. Does manage to get the kill, but as I tried to swap to his POV, he gets insta-refragged by the likes of Kinks, who has pushed into the statutory room with the other members of the Black Angels team. Once again, Federico playing from above, opening up those angles, and Penta Rafny has now pushed in through Laundry, opened up a bit of a hole, and does manage to take out Rafty. His PS4 overheated, so unfortunately had to leave, and now he comes back just to get his head completely taken off by the likes of Penta. Very unfortunate for him, but hopefully he's able to pick this one up as this game continues. This Laundry wall now has been completely opened by these ace charges. It is only a crouch hole. They can't walk straight through that, and the likes of Jarno is actually playing on the A-bomb in quite a strong position. I don't think the ace could actually see the toes of the Jaeger, but as I say, that shot's coming out. Unfortunately, missed shots there as well from the likes of Jarno. He should have quite easily got Penta there, but unfortunately isn't able to do so. Krusty, though, does manage to get a kill, possibly through the floor. I didn't quite see it, but unfortunately Penta pushes into the bike storage and is able to collect the likes of Jarno, or certainly shooting from the window. Kinks gets himself a double by picking up the likes of Krusty Hall through the floor, and now Penta is in sight, being covered from above. Ruben comes down the red stairs, but unfortunately Yellow Pin coming out, and Kinks knows exactly where he's coming from. Not quite a pre-fire, but ends up winning that gunfight, as unfortunately the shots from Ruben weren't quite in the right place. And we see Kinks walking away with the final kill there, securing another round for Black Angels, so far undefeated on their attacking side, which now sees us already on match point. Only 4 rounds ago, we were saying how good Zodiac B were looking in the first half of this one while they were on the offensive. Now they're on the defense, they just don't seem to be as strong of a team. Whether that's something that they need to work on with their defense, maybe their defense is a little bit shaky, I don't quite know. Certainly from playing them previously, they do base a lot of their strats, or it certainly seems to be that they base a lot of their strong strats around the mirror. And with her being banned out early on, I know I didn't really talk about the bans early on, apologies for that everybody, but with Mirror being off the board at the moment, maybe that's been the shot into their Achilles heel that has crippled them so far on the defensive. Hopefully they start to find a bit of momentum, as of course they are now backed into the corner with Black Angels currently sat on that match point. If Black Angels win just 1 round at this point, they will be able to walk away with the first map victory. Meanwhile, we have to see 2 round wins on the trot from the side of Zodiac B. Not the worst position to be in. We've seen teams come back from worse positions than this, I believe, even against Black Angels on Cafe. We saw Vortex when they swapped onto the defending side. It was 6-0 to Black Angels. And Vortex took it all the way to 6-5 until eventually Black Angels were finally able to win one of their attacking rounds, which got them the victory on that one. But we've certainly seen teams come back from very large deficits, and as this one isn't actually all that large in the grand scheme of things, we may see Zodiac B be able to pull something out right here, right now, that sees them at least take this to overtime, even if a win isn't the outcome that we see from them at the end of this one. Study Bout being completely ignored at the moment from the likes of Black Angels, deciding instead to get on the roof and start with a master bedroom push. Once again, the solo roamer of FA Nova has proven quite dangerous for a lot of teams against Black Angels. I remember myself trying to roam solo, whether it was on Cafe or another map, against this Black Angels roster. They are very good at the drone and hunting down of the roamers. They themselves have been quite good at the roam on certain maps, certainly Clubhouse springs to mind. So it's interesting to see that they didn't really have too much luck on their own roam early on. A C4 being cooked here by the Valkyrie, by Christy Hall, playing aggressively out to 90 window. He does get contested by the ace, I believe, a Penta Rafni. Does see the head, but unfortunately doesn't quite manage to land the shot in time, and Penta, with the cheekier angle, is able to finish off Christy Hall. Psycho as well on the roam. It does eventually pick up FA Nova. Of course, the solo roam doesn't really work when you've got so many people droning and pushing you. There's only so many gunfights that you can take at one time, and of course if you face off against one person, unless their timing is terrible, then as long as there's one person behind, they can easily get the refrag for their team, and that's exactly what Black Angels have been doing so far. I seem to just be watching everybody that likes just holding these angles. I don't quite know why, I do apologise. We do see Ruben though still on the roam himself, has gone for a late one, currently playing the Mozzie. Hopefully he's able to pick up a few kills here. That does leave only Jarno's Shadow and the likes of Rafty though on site. The shots now come out from the vault, as I believe the ace has managed to get that wall open. Yes indeed. The ace is now contesting on to the B-side door though, as shots land onto Jarno, and he's left on about 26 hit points, something like that. Is playing around the vault door, just getting some cheeky pre-fires out at the moment. It's now sat behind the vault door, waiting to see if anybody pushes in on him. Do they realise quite how close he is? I don't think they do. So pings are coming out. Ruben on the flank though is able to pick up one, does take off the head of Federico. I do see though often when we're swapping on to Ruben that he does always seem to have a couple of drones in pocket that he's managed to pick up with his Mozzie, but hasn't actually used them or positioned them in positions where they could be useful for his team. Eventually Kinks does collect that kill onto Jono as he's playing very aggressively. Lysa Rafty though, playing behind the dining table, does eventually get the kill on Psycho, but the diffuser has now gone down. Penta getting the diffuser right down behind that vault door. Kaylee is currently playing inside prone on the floor, close in the aviator room, a good position because it's quite unexpected. Kinks has moved back out to watch the top landing over towards the top of red, and Penta is currently just sat on that bomb. Both members of Zodiac B now swing the angle together. Does mean that Kaylee falls to Rafty, but unfortunately for Zodiac B, they weren't able to get they weren't both able to walk away with their life, and eventually Penta does pick up the final kill against Rafty. Still playing behind that vault door. Rafty obviously expecting maybe them to be off site. Shots missed by Penta. He could have lost that gunfight, but in the end he does manage to secure that kill. And with 5 winning rounds on the board for the side of Black Angels, we do see them take map number 1, Villa in favour of them, 7 rounds to 4. A very impressive defensive start from Zodiac B, but unfortunately, offensive start from Zodiac B, but when they did swap onto the defence, unfortunately we didn't quite see the same performance that we would have hoped from them. Meaning that the final scoreline does go in favour of Black Angels. N-Splashy 3000, is this a gold league? A genuine question, by the way. No, it's not N-Splashy. It's sort of, best way to describe it at the moment is a mixed league. We do have some teams that are, you would say, stacked. They have like X-Champs, Diamonds, very high Plats. Then we have the complete opposite end of the spectrum, and we do have some teams that are made up of golds and silvers. At one point we did have some bronze and copper players actually within a team together. Unfortunately, they left us. So we do have a wide variety in this league, and hopefully as we grow, we will hopefully be able to spread out and go and maybe have 2 different divisions. One for some of the maybe higher level players, and certainly those that have performed well, and maybe a slightly lower division players, so that everybody's sort of playing everybody at the same level. Because it's not, I don't necessarily want to watch games where you see a champ diamond team just completely flounce a gold team. I want to watch 2 gold teams face off, be incredibly close, some very good gun battles. Even if some of the gameplay isn't maybe pro league level, I want to see those close games, even though it means for me, if I'm casting, I'm here for hours on end. But I don't mind it. Anyway, the first game is now finished, and it did go in favour of Black Angels. I'm just going to let everybody know that I'm just going to have a quick pause, quick break, nip to the loo, and I'm going to run some ads for you. So bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just going to run about 3 minutes of ads while I have a quick break. Please enjoy them. whether they are stuff you're interested in or not. It certainly helps me out if you watch them, and if you don't have ad block on, I do apologise. If you do, then you won't see them anyway. Either way, I'll disappear for about 3 minutes and be right back with you for game number 2, which takes us to Cafe. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are now ready for game number 2. Everybody appears to be ready in the lobby, so we're going to kick this one off right away. The second map against these two teams will be Cafe Dostoevsky. Anyway, thank you all for sticking around so far. Hope you enjoyed the first game today, and now we head into the second one. Hopefully it's going to be just as interesting. The side that we see starting on the offensive this time will be the side of Black Angels, and this time we will see Zodiac B on the defense. If, of course, the same performance that we've seen out of Zodiac B so far this game, they do continue with a bad performance on the defense, then, of course, we may see a 6-0 coming out from Black Angels. It's not unheard of on this map for the side of Black Angels, as we've seen them take Vortex Gaming to that very scoreline. However, it's a new day, it's a new team. Will Zodiac be able to find something a little bit more concrete to base their defense around on this second map? So will we actually see them walking away with a slightly better scoreline, if not the victory on this one? Anyway, I did complete the prediction while you guys were possibly still watching some ads. So congrats to all you guys who have just won yourself a load of chat points. Or channel points, apologies, for betting on Black Angels. I think most of you have just got your money back and then a few extra bits in there. I'm not quite sure because most of you did vote for Black Angels, but as we head into the second game, I am now getting the second poll underway for you guys to vote on which team you think will win. So we will see whether the vote has stayed the same way or whether Zodiac B's performance has maybe surprised a lot of you, so you're willing to maybe go down that betting line, run that risk, put those channel points on Zodiac B, and hopefully they might win it all for you. Then again, Black Angels may show up big once again, and of course bring the victory out on this map as well. The bans coming out so far: Thatcher, Monty, Mirror and Cade. We do see the Monty being banned out by the likes of Zodiac B. And I believe also... No, apologies, the middle bans are for the attacking team. So we do see once again Mirror taken off the board, which, as I vaguely spoke about on the previous match for those of you that were here at the time, Zodiac B, from when I have played them myself and also seen some of their VODs, I know they do like to base quite a few of their defences around that mirror window, or those mirror windows. The fact that they don't have them available to them right now does mean that maybe, just maybe, we might see them once again struggle a little bit on the defence here. Black Angels, though, have also used the mirror relatively effectively as well. But it does seem that today they've decided, you know what, we're not going to use it. Or they just, because they're starting on the attack, they want to give themselves that bit of an advantage on maybe the side that they're more comfortable at, which does seem to be the attacking side, certainly on this map as well. So that when it doesn't give the team that they're facing, Zodiac B, the advantage with that mirror window while they're on this first 6 rounds of their defence. But also they feel that when they do come to their own defence, they don't necessarily need that mirror on side to be able to come away with a victory. At least that's what they think. Whether that will come to pass, we'll just have to wait and see. As there's still many rounds to be played in this game, as we just start on the very first one. Round number 1, as we see Zodiac B taking us straight to the top floor.
10 seconds to go.
What is this site called? I just call it top floor. Bar and cocktail lounge? Yeah, bar and cocktail lounge. There we go. I'm not dumb at this game. I'm not bad at this game. What are you on about? Anyway, I hope everybody in the chat today is doing lovely. You're all enjoying your Friday, your end of the week. For those of you that have been going back to school in the UK, I hope your first week back has been alright. None of you have caught COVID yet. And I hope you're all doing well and ready for your first weekend after going back. For those of you that aren't at school and whatnot, you may be doing other things, then I hope everything's been going well. And certainly for me, my 9-to-5 job, I am very happy that the weekend is here, so I can have a bit more of a relaxing time of it. So that's what I'm going to do. Black Angels starting from the roof and working their way down, it seems. So we'll just have to see how this one works out. Sorry, I was just distracted for a second as I was active on the Discord and needed to just check whether it was anything important and relating to this game. So far, no picks going in favour of either team, but we do see a 3-stack coming out from the side of the Black Angels roster around this red hatch. The Jaeger at the moment of FA Nova playing all the way down in Mining Room, currently holding a very long angle onto that red hatch. Unfortunately, though, doesn't quite see the Vault of Kinks. However, Kinks does drop on into sight and does actually lose quite a bit of health in the process, over about 50 hit points. Currently, though, the red stairs are actually completely clear. Not sure if a Nomad has been bought. Has a Nomad been placed there? Yes, indeed it has, in that broken vase on the right-hand side. You can just about see the yellow glow. If you guys are watching on your phones, though, I'm sorry, but you probably won't be able to see that. But for those of you not, hopefully you can. We do see now Federico contesting from the cigar shop door, pre-firing onto the... Goodness me, Cocktail Lounge does do a lot of damage onto Rafty, but doesn't kill him. Kinkso does get a nice little grenade toss down onto the top white, claiming the life of Jarno's Shadow, and Rafty is now actually put down on his arse, as a few more shots have landed, and now a grenade flies through the door to finish him off. This one being thrown by Federico. 2 grenade kills coming out so far on the side of Black Angels, but a nice few shots coming out from the Jaeger of FA Nova does bring the numbers slightly back in favour of Zodiac B, but unfortunately Kayleigh is right there waiting for him and takes him out as well, meaning we now see Zodiac B facing off against Black Angels in a 2v4. This is still winnable, as we do see Ruben taking Kingstown with that smoke. Oh my goodness. Krusty just about managed to win that gunfight against the Zofia. Just about manages to down her and eventually get the kill with the Deagle out. Fortunately, she wasn't looking in the right direction, otherwise that one could have ended very differently. Penta, though, has pushed on into sight and has planted in the default plant spot. Does now mean that with the diffuser down, does give a little bit more time to the side of Krusty, but of course time isn't what he wanted. He would have just liked to win that one right there and then, hopefully, by, of course, denying that plant. But unfortunately for him, he's now walking into a bit of a death trap, and with both players watching from either side, Penta is eventually the one to pick him up, shooting him in the back as he swings from the pixel position into the cigar lounge. Meaning that the opening round does go the way that we were maybe expecting it to after the strong attacking performance from Black Angels on the previous map. We do see them taking around number 1 on this second map. But Zodiac B looking slightly stronger than they did previously, so fingers crossed moving forward. They can continue that momentum and both get a couple of rounds on the board on their defence, but also hopefully they bring us as good an offence as they did on the previous map to this one. In that case, we may actually see this second map going to overtime, but with only one round so far to sort of judge everything off, it's very difficult to guess the exact outcome at the end of all of this. So we will just have to wait and see. Second site being chosen by Zodiac B. Once again, they've decided to instantly swap into another site after losing that first one, going for the kitchen service and kitchen cooking site. Pretty standard one for all of them. Once again, apologies for the silence. I was just quickly looking at something on Discord. This stuff's kicking off. Fortunately, no, not kicking off in a bad way, not necessarily kicking off in a good way either, but it's certainly kicking off. So I just had to have a quick look at that. Yes, indeed, Unique. Apologies, I didn't see your message earlier. You and Connor have the same colour in the chat for your name at the moment, so it's quite hard to differentiate the two of you. But yes, that was a well-placed bet from you indeed, putting them on Black Angels. They were eventually able to win it out. Will they be able to have a similar performance on this one? Does look like so far the push that is going to be being brought out against the side of Zodiac B here will be a push into the bakery. FA Nova, though, unfortunately missing the shots onto that drone that came through, so unfortunately he has to fall back. Also, possibly a bit of a misplay if they do not have the reinforcements to do so. They've left one of the walls on the prep room completely soft and open. Well, not quite open, but it's certainly soft. And we do see the likes of Federico holding a cheeky angle at the moment, just waiting for that smoke to cross. Fortunately, he has managed to get across and walk away with his life, though. He currently is completely white as you see him trying to run out of the prep room, but unfortunately it does take a bit of... Can't see where he's going. And now a nade being cooked out by the likes of Federico. Does perfectly bounce over the counter. Amazingly, though, FA Nova only taking the tiniest bit of damage, and Psycho has now actually been downed. Was that from the smoke canister? It possibly was. I didn't quite see, unfortunately. Hopefully, when I watch this back for stats, as perfectly timed swing from FA Nova doesn't collect the head of Psycho, but does actually collect his entire body at the end of all of this, putting him out of commission for the foreseeable future. The drone has now seen FA Nova, though. Much better accuracy on this one, does able to take that one out. A three-man push now coming out into the kitchen does mean that this is the likeliest push coming out from the side of Black Angels, and that main kitchen wall now being opened as the grenade eventually does manage to land over the wall, meaning that the bandits have been taken off. And the wall can be opened by the Ace Chargers. 2 kills coming out quite quickly. The first one going the way of, well, falling is Rafty, being picked up by the long angle. And at the same time, we also see, FA Nova falling in the prep room. Ruben, though, has managed to pick up another kill, putting the numbers back in favour. But a double kill from Cali does mean that it's now 2-2, as indeed Krusty does answer back, using the Alder to the best of its abilities, but a plant coming out from Penta. It will get stuck out, and a drop there from Oh no, unfortunately there from Krusty, he did drop in just the wrong place, so Kaylee was able to get those opening shots onto him. 2.5 times and suppressor of the vertical grip on the LA85. Not exactly my personal choice, but certainly an interesting one being brought out here from the likes of Kaylee. Ruben, though, going on a bit of an interesting rotate. Rather than just deciding to go through the red hall, he decides to go all the way up the red stairs and down onto the brown stairs. Penta has rotated around there, watching for a hatch drop. Is hatch actually open? I'm not sure it is. No, hatch is not even open, so watching the hatch drop isn't very useful. But once again, Ruben maybe not being as aggressive as he actually needed to be in this 1v2 situation to stand a chance of winning it, and eventually Kaylee pushes up through into the small bakery and claims the head of Kaylee. Sorry, not Kaylee. Ruben as he swings from the bar area. Second offensive round now goes back in favour of Black Angels, but once again, Zodiac B showing that they possibly have what it takes, and they just need to get all the little parts that make up their defence working and at the exact same time, or working in tandem, and maybe they'll be able to win this one out. Black Angels did get the advantage on that one, getting the opening pick. I believe it was on to FA Nova and Rafty fell at about roughly the same time. No, in fact, the opening pick fell from Ruben onto one of the players of Black Angels. Black Angels were then able to pull it back by getting a double kill with the team. But Zodiac B did well to answer back in the way that they did, meaning that that round was actually a lot closer than maybe we would have anticipated. Unfortunately, though, right at the very end, it all boiled down to a 2v2, and unfortunately for Krusty, the position that he dropped into did mean that Kaylee got the opening shots onto him. Couldn't really win that engagement, and unfortunately couldn't see the likes of Penta planting behind this unit in kitchen cooking either, meaning that the round falls the way of Black Angels, as Ruben was not able to clutch it out despite his best ability. Although, like I say, I don't necessarily agree with the play that he did, doing such a wide rotate with only 40 seconds on the board. If he did it straight away, fair enough. The fact they left it so late, to me, that was a little bit of a misplay. But then again, these guys play the game that they want to play, and if that's how Ruben wanted to play it, then that's how Ruben wanted to play it. I can't. I'm just here to cast it today, and I can leave comments. So if these two teams decide to watch the VODs back or watch on my YouTube when the games do get uploaded, then of course they can listen to my feedback there. Hopefully, I provide feedback equally to all teams, as I'd like to think I do that. But regardless, at the moment, Zodiac B are the ones that certainly, on their defense, probably want a bit more in the way of feedback to help them improve. A shield being played with an ADS in the prep room, with the smoke of FA Nova playing behind it, is how the side of Zodiac B has decided they want to hold this one. FA Nova does get completely whited out there by a flashbang that does manage to make its way across. Federico as well does manage to cook it, well, not yet, does now cook the grenade, does drop it over. It has now taken out those bandit charges, but a bandit trick coming out does get the one on the right, but with two ace charges being thrown down and a pre-fire coming out from Federico does mean FA Nova does fall. Penta also gets a Jano Shadow, but Ruben does answer back on the roam with a kill. Penta now picking himself up a double, but Penta collects himself a triple, but unfortunately this one was the back of his teammate's head, as he does take Federico off the board as well, helping out the side of Zodiac B immensely, meaning that it's now a 3v2. Ruben, though, has been all the way off site and is now eventually coming back. Penta picks himself up a triple, technically a quad. Oh, we're not going to quite count it as a quad, and now Black Angels are pushing into site. Penta going for the plant. Seems to be doing everything right now, not only getting the walls open, but also getting the kills for his team. And on top of that, now also getting the plant secured for Black Angels as well. Ruben once again left in a 1vx situation. This time, though, it's even less favourable as it is a 1v3. And there you go, Penta swinging the cloakroom where Jaeger pushed up to. Collects himself 4 kills on the round, showing that maybe, certainly on this map, goodness me, Penta is MVP. I certainly remember casting a game for Black Angels. Can't remember whether it was for this league or another one, but they absolutely slapped on Cafe and Penta. On the defense, though, rather than the offense, absolutely popped off. C4s left, right, and center, opening picks with the C4s, certainly onto the top floor, onto the hatches. Was certainly a sight to behold. But so far, he is proving that he's equally adept at, of course, pushing and attacking onto Cafe, as we do see 3 rounds currently on the board in favour of Black Angels. Meanwhile, none are currently sat in the back pocket of Zodiac B. Round number 4 now we do head to, once again, kitchen service and kitchen cooking being the sites that Zodiac B have opted for. I'd say their second time of going there was started off looking like a slightly better performance, but unfortunately, by the very end, it just ended up going the same way as the previous rounds had unfortunately done for them. This now means that maybe they had taken my advice from earlier where they were swapping the sites around a little bit more, going to site twice before then swapping off of it, but now they're going to this site 3 times. And as Black Angels proved in the very first map on Villa, going to the same site 3 times in a row, or certainly 3 times within the same map, when you know you've lost it, maybe isn't necessarily the play. Maybe going somewhere like mining or reading might be the play. Maybe you don't have a strat necessarily prepared for it, but surely most of these people know how to do in inverted commas, a basic hold from like a ranked setup. In that case, they can maybe do one of those setups and see where it gets them, and you never know that they might have a bit more luck on one of these other sites. So far, though, the likes of Black Angels has just been able to completely shut them down as they are pushing into this site, which unfortunately has meant that we do see 2 of the 3 rounds already played going the way of Black Angels. Ella, though, playing currently around in the prep room, playing closest shield. Ruben, though, decided to opt for the Scorpion rather than the shotgun. Shotgun, of course, could prove incredibly deadly from this position, but with the Scorpion in play instead, it's going to present a different use for the weapon, different use from the position, but with nothing covering it, unfortunately that shield does get taken down, and so does FA Nova as Federico pushes in. Bandits have now also been taken off the prep wall, so they are now being taken care of. The Bandit is trying to trick the wall, but unfortunately doesn't quite manage it. It does manage to get one, but it's already gone off with 1 charge, and now the prep room wall is being opened as well. Ruben gets thrown on his arse, somehow surviving all of that for just a little bit longer. Shots coming out, but unfortunately not able to land any of them. Eventually Kings does win out that one, getting himself a double kill, and just like that we see this going into a 1v5 situation. Rafty being the only member left, currently stuck over in the freezer. He does get himself 1 kill onto the head of Federico. Penta, though, is planting, and unfortunately for him, this looks like it's all going to be over far too soon, as Kings pops up and quickly one-taps in the head to eventually win out that 4th round for the likes of Black Angels. Looking a lot stronger on this second map, and certainly looking a lot stronger on, looking a lot stronger on the offensive. There you go. Connor's really pushing the boat out right here and has just placed, right at the dying moments of the prediction, 1 channel point on Zodiac B to win this one, which does mean that should Zodiac pull out a miracle, or what looks to be a miracle at this point in the game, and win this second map, Connor, having only put 1 channel point into the predictions pool, will walk away with 3.41k. He will walk away with 3,400 channel points if Zodiac B win this one. And of course, if they don't win this one, he only loses 1 channel point. Connor certainly knows how to play the system, and he's playing the system right now exactly the way it's supposed to be done. Or certainly how I would do it. Of course, at the moment so far, it is looking a little bit unlikely that Zodiac B will be able to pull back the deficit that they have suffered so far and be able to come out with a win on this one, but they have proven to have a very strong attack, and when they swap sides after this first half with only 2 rounds left before that happens, we may see them bringing out a strong performance on their offense that is able to crush Black Angels with, and we may see a repeat performance of Vortex Gaming versus Black Angels, where on this very map, oh dear, we did see an Amaru rush now coming out. The G8 is now already in Cocktail Lounge, the head being taken off of Jano Shadow. Cocktail Lounge is now currently in control of the Amaru. Is she being flanked from behind? I'm not quite sure. Yes, indeed she is. Shots coming out from Freezer does mean that she only is able to pick up 1 on this push. Ruben now gets himself another one on the roam. Has picked up Federico below, and already we see Zodiac B starting to bring this one already in their favour. 4 members left on the side of Zodiac B to the 3 of Black Angels. The remaining members are currently nice and safe on the top floor. Currently once again playing around that red hatch and also the skylight. Open up the soft wall, or sorry, there was a rotate already put in now, I believe, by the likes of Zodiac at the top red stairs. But it does seem that this is where the entry point is going to be for most of these Black Angels members. Most of them just on the drone at the moment. Penta does repel in, does see the route cam and does take it out, but down below, Kaylee had droned out Ruben they knew was below and eventually does finish him off, does putting the numbers back in favour of Black Angels as they do a butt ton of damage onto FA Nova currently playing in the freezer. Being currently left on about 26 hit points does mean that FA Nova could quite easily be taken out right here, right now. But deciding to bug out of the bathroom and using one of the, oh dear, reinforcements to cover up that position. Oh no, unfortunately though, he was pushed in on by Penta. Krusty was able to get the kill, the refrag onto Penta, but unfortunately it does eventually fall to Kaylee, who was playing on the skylight. Now in a 2v1 situation, Rafty playing the Jaeger has to try and clutch this one out. There is 60 seconds still left on the clock, so much time in favour of Black Angels on this one. They now have diffuser. Kinks has pushed on inside. The diffuser is starting to go off. Does the call come out? The diffuser is happening. Possibly it does, but Rafty is designed to stay instead in the cocktail lounge. Not designed to push up. Now it's being to push up, but it's maybe a little bit too late, as we do see Kaylee repelling back to the roof. Maybe to try and hold this diffuser from the skylight. A very difficult position to try and force anybody off from. Especially for the likes of a Jaeger with no throwables, no C4, no impacts that can be thrown up onto that position. So unless the actual Nomad peaks, then he should be able to... Then the Nomad should eventually win this one out. Once again, though, Kinks decides to go for the one-tap pistol. Missing all of them so far, but also Rafty missing quite a few as well. Oh no, quite embarrassing for both players there. Kinks is eventually put down on his arse and he is taken out by headshots. With only 7 seconds left, there is no time for Rafty to defuse this one. And all that is left to do is for Kaylee to try and hip fire him. Kaylee, if you wanted good stats, you maybe should have aimed in. But instead, man just decides to completely hip fire all his shots, managing to somehow not hit any onto the Jaeger, meaning that the round is won by the attackers. But not through kills, but by the defuse time running down, stopping those bombs that the defenders were defending from going off. Final round now of the first half. Will we see a flawless first half coming out from the side of Black Angels? As I said before we came into this map, this is their map choice. And this is certainly one that they obviously appear a lot more comfortable on, having already got 5 rounds on the board to their name on the attacking side. Attack does seem to be the way that Black Angels have been wanting to win this one so far, as we did see them going 4 rounds to 2 on the first half of Villa when they were on the defense. So not quite strong on their defense, but will it really matter if their defense isn't as strong on Cafe if they are able to finish this first half? 6 rounds to none, the perfect half for Black Angels. Hopefully, for the side of Zodiac B, they can pull something out of the bag right here, right now. But we'll just have to wait and see on that one, as they do decide to go back to the kitchen cooking, kitchen prep, or kitchen service, sorry. Jarno currently, though, unfortunately not having been able to have much impact on this game. I believe has bought the Ella shotgun and the shield this time. So instead of Ruben, does appear like maybe a bit of miscommunication, bit of unsureness. What's the word I'm looking for? Not really having the confidence on the side of Zodiac B to know exactly what their setup's going to be. Meaning that, of course, Jarno is only now getting to a reinforcement, and it's quite a late one. But while the side of Black Angels does start to drone in, we're just going to have a quick look at the scoreboard. Currently, kills shared around most members of the Zodiac B team, apart from Jarno, who I've already pointed out. On the side of Black Angels, though, Penta showing up big on this map so far. 9 kills, only 1 death. Kaylee as well doing his part. 7 kills to no deaths. Currently doesn't even have a KD. Because to get a KD, you do need to get 1 kill and 1 death at least. So, a bit of an interesting choice there for the likes of Jarno. Already having 1 Elamine on that door. Does decide to put 1 there. Oh my goodness! Ruben, what a perfect swing, is able to actually swing swing that prep angle and pick himself up too. Rafty as well on the roam is able to, well, not necessarily on the roam, but the close look is able to collect the head of Federico. And now we eventually see probably the first round so far on defense where Zodiac B now appear to be in the driving seat and in control. Currently in a 4v2. Ruben, though, is not the healthiest little man. Currently being on about 10 hit points to his name. Damage could very easily be done onto him and he could fall, meaning that it would then be a 3v2. Black Angels have proved that they've been able to come back from this before. A badly thrown ace charge right there. May have just missed the hatch. Hopefully this will open it up. But no, Ruben! It does open the hatch, but Ruben, of course, guessing what's happening, does throw up a C4 there, which does claim the life of Penta. Now it's just Kaylee left in a 1v4. Not sure who got the opening pick on this round. I don't think it was Kaylee. I think it was somebody else. So Kaylee will have to get a quad kill right here with 1 minute 10 left on the clock, or 70 seconds. Is he able to clutch this round out and give his team, Black Angels, the flawless defensive half that they probably so desperately want? Slow peeking from Prep right now. He just doesn't seem to even see the head of Krusty. Oh my goodness, the Ella shotgun comes up close. He is able to actually down that person, but an accidental prone at the wrong time does mean the C4 thrown out by Krusty Hoare does manage to kill him eventually. Finally, a good finishing point. Something positive to take away from their defensive half on the side of Zodiac B. On their 4th time of trying, they were able to win on the kitchen service, kitchen cooking site, eventually taking that one, meaning the score as we head into the second half and the roles swap, we see it going 5 rounds to 1 in favour of Black Angels. Kitchen service, kitchen cooking being the starting point as well for the side of Black Angels. We'll see whether they can put up a stronger defense of this site than we saw from the likes of, Zodiac B. We will just have to wait and see. God, that rhymed. I'm a poet and I didn't even know it. Kali being swapped out for the ace as the side of Zodiac B realise they don't actually have a hard breach on their side. Personally, I wouldn't bring the ace. I feel a thermite would be a better option, or thermite paired with a Hibana, or even just somebody with a hard breach gadget. Get that prep wall open, even if it is only with the hard breach gadget, allowing you to, of course, deny people playing in that prep position, meaning you can actually get thermite into kitchen to get that main wall nice and open, nice and wide. There's no vault holes, it's just walkable holes. And of course, you get a lot more vision on into sight, but then again, also the defenders get a lot more vision onto you. So it is, of course, team's preference, but personally, I would take the thermite if I was playing. But once again, these are just the little elemental tips that you're going to be getting when you watch me cast. And these teams, if they ever decide to watch this VOD back or watch it when I eventually upload this to YouTube, then of course they can review all of this, they can maybe take some of my feedback to heart, and maybe apply this to some of their future games. Who knows? Who knows? Anyway, a relatively standard setup coming out here, no extension into the main bakery from the side of Black Angels, just a hard hold of sight. They have the bandits for the walls, and with the Thatcher being banned out by them early on, or by the side of Zodiac B, does mean that... Sorry, I was just wondering what they've done with this setup here. An interesting setup, which I will discuss shortly. But yes, with the Thatcher being banned there, it does mean that there are other options that need to be explored by the likes of Zodiac B to, of course, get the wall denial off of the walls so that they can begin opening it with their one hard breach. Of course, with only one hard breach, if he is taken out very early on, it could prove detrimental to them. Now, what I was about to point out was a bit of a strange setup that we do see. A bandit and a mute being used in tandem on these walls. Quite an interesting choice. I do quite like it. As we do see also Penta pushing down the red stairs, picking up the first kill onto Giano, but FA Nova does get kinked back in return. But yes, the bandit charge being used on the right hand side and the mute being used on the left, meaning that that mute also covers the drone hole as well as the wall, stopping the drones from getting in but also denying that breach from being open. The same can be said for here on the red wall. There's a drone hole right there that is being blocked by the mute, but also the wall is being denied. Penta though picks himself up a double on the roam. That was also above. The diffuser's now been dropped. For some reason the diffuser was in hand of FA Nova, who was playing that sledge, playing the vertical angles. Now he's been ever so close to the ace of... Sorry, Fitzy, or Rafty as I've been calling him so far. Does realise that he's in the Pillar's position and a clean headshot from Rafty. It does mean that Penta has been taken out. Does see the Jaeger of Federico through the floor. Unfortunately doesn't able to land a shot or even fire a single bullet at the man. And unfortunately for him, while he's watching the angle, Federico decides not to walk in front of him. Now left in a 2v2, Ruben is now pushing down the red hallway. He's starting to scan those footprints. He does realise where the Jaeger is. A quick swing. Some pre-fires to the wall does do a bit of damage onto Federico, but unfortunately doesn't take him off the scoreboard for the side of Zodiac B. Further pings coming out may of course alert the two remaining players to the presence of that Jaeger. Rafty still playing above, just trying to get some picks onto this Jaeger as he pushes into certain positions, but the Jaeger has now moved from there. Rafty, he has legs, he is able to move. Maybe it would be a good idea to rotate down and join your friend who is trying to push now into the prep room. Ruben now just waiting in the prep for Rafty to come join in, who's currently rotating down the red stairs. Fortunately, no member of Black Angels has pushed up further from this position, so they'll be able to push in. Two ADSs still left on that wall though, so if, oh dear, Federico lying prone on the floor is able to collect the kill onto Ruben, and a swing from Federico as well, and a pre-fire, though Kaylee gets the long angle headshot with the SMG-11. My goodness, I want to see how he got this one. Woo! Very clean, very clean. A very nice shot there from Kaylee, playing all the way back at the half-wall position in the kitchen service. Does mean that the first defensive round for Black Angels goes in their favour, which now puts them on to match point. Will this game be said and done after this one final round, or will we see further rounds played between these two as Zodiac B start bringing the sort of offense that we saw them bringing on the Villa map? There's a bit of siege still to be played here, so we'll just have to wait and see which of these two teams does eventually come out on top, but certainly my money right now, seeing the scoreline, would be on Black Angels. Zodiac B, though, more comfortable on the offensive, could of course turn this around, but we'll just have to wait and see. Whew. Not necessarily sure what the likes of Zodiac B could have done quite differently on that previous site. I'm not too sure. But certainly the execution at the end could have come a little bit sooner, and maybe they could have stuck together a little bit closer. Certainly though, for the likes of Calais, using that SMG-11 from that long distance and playing on a half-wall position is a very difficult player to go against. Of course, several angles that you think would be safe in prep if nobody's close aren't actually safe from that long angle being held from the top, that half wall. As I've mentioned already though, on multiple occasions, Black Angels do like their off-sites. They don't like going to the normal ones, as we saw with them starting on the kitchen dining site on the Villa map, and now we see them for their second site choice going to a mining and dining. Normally this would be often not even considered by a lot of teams to be a preferred site, and instead a lot of teams would go for the dining and a reading room site, as it's a lot easier to hold for it to extend a hold onto the top floor into the cocktail lounge, as well as around the freezer area to hold some vertical angles onto the site below. Penta getting the opening frag, this one onto Rafty, getting an early pick onto the Zofia. Windows and barricades now being broken left, right and centre by the likes of Penta. Just trying to decide exactly what to do. Absolutely showing up big right here, right now on this map. 12 kills to his name so far, with only 3 left. Psycho managed to pick up Jarno Shadow as he was rappelling up from the garage. And now we see an aggressive play coming out from the likes of Penta. Does rip down that barricade, but decides better at jumping out of it, as we do see the likes of Ruben currently playing below on this terrace area. Will a jump out be seen from the likes of Penta? We will have to wait and see. He's currently sat below. A pre-fire though coming out from Ruben does eventually kill him, but a refrag there from the Jaeger of Federico backs up his teammate of Penta, meaning that he's able to pick up the kill. Krusty Whore has now been downed as well, not quite sure who by. I believe it was Psycho, getting himself a double kill for this round. A friendly shotgun round coming out there. Whether that was intentional or accidental, I'm not quite sure. Maybe a panic from Kinks meant that the shotgun round went straight into the chest of Psycho. Does take him off the board, and FA Nova does answer back as well, collecting himself a kill on his own. Collecting the head of Calais in the process. Now left in a 1v2 situation, FA Nova is currently on the east rappel, waiting to look down onto that white angle. But the Lysa Kinks is playing in that position as he rappels in, just about managing to make it in alive. Did lose 25 hit points, But now left in a 1v2 with 1 minute left on the clock. Can he make something magical happen here to keep his team in this just for one more round, if nothing more? Or will we see the ever-dominant Black Angels on the Cafe map coming away with another victory? Once again, we do see the likes of Black Angels just taking this one slow and steady. Federico just prone at the moment on the museum entrance corridor, just prone at the bottom of the stairs. Somehow crawling through and fitting through that tiny hole. I would have thought that a big chunky boy like Jaeger wouldn't be able to fit through that hole, but somehow he can. Starts contesting onto the sledge, currently playing around this hatch. FA Nova does decide to drop, and Federico collects him and secures map number 2 and the best of 2 win and the full 3 points for Black Angels. I believe this win today for the side of Black Angels does secure them. Well, they've already secured themselves a playoff spot, but it certainly puts them in running and still in with a chance of taking that very top spot off of Rebel Nation Shadow, who currently sit at first place from everybody in the league. Anyway, a quick final glance at the scoreboard does show that maybe, unfortunate there for Zodiac B, just some of their players not quite able to get maybe the picks that they needed. Overall, the numbers didn't look too bad, but as we look at the scoreline, though, unfortunately, it did fall in the favour of Black Angels when it came down to the very end of that one. Anyway, thank you everybody for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed the 2 games that we saw played out today. The first one, of course, being on the Villa map. We did see a good opening start from the side of Zodiac B, but unfortunately when the sides were swapped and they moved on to the defense and Black Angels onto the attack, Black Angels were just able to rip through the defense of Zodiac B, eventually able to win out that first map 7 rounds to 4, with 5 rounds won on the trot, starting with their final attack and finishing with their 5th defense. No, offense, sorry. Apologies. Anyway, the second map that we did see was Cafe. We have just, of course, seen the end of that. We saw 7 rounds going in favour of Black Angels, and unfortunately for Zodiac B, only 1 round going in favour for them. Their defence has seemed a little bit more shaky than their offence, but unfortunately their offence wasn't able to actually help them too much on Cafe. Maybe it's a map they're not as familiar with. So in the end, we do see Black Angels taking this best of 2 victory. As I said before, that secures themselves the full 3 points. Of course, this wasn't necessarily the most interesting of games for changing the playoff positions. If Zodiac B had been able to defeat Black Angels on one or both of these maps, then it may have been a very different story. We may have seen the top 5B moved around quite a bit. We maybe would have seen Paradox move up, Black Angels move down. But now that we've seen Black Angels win this best of 2, it does secure themselves one of the very top spots within the playoff positions. Stay tuned for next week, where we will see Black Angels take on RNS, which, depending on how RNS's game goes against Expansion at the beginning of next week, may see either one of these teams will we see both teams finishing, going into the playoffs as undefeated? That means that they have not had a loss, but they may have had a draw and wins. Or will we see one of these teams, of course, best the other in this best of 2 and come out on top and push the other one down into a position where they have indeed lost a game? All of that is yet to come, so stay tuned. If you are in the Discord, of course, you can find all upcoming games in the schedule channel. But if you're not in the Discord, then just stay tuned to both my channel and some of the other casters who, of course, cast for this channel. One of the main ones who's been doing quite a few recently is Rainbow Six Chanka. So be sure to go and drop him a follow. He may be in chat right now, so if he is, then of course you can click on his username and go and find him from there. Anyway, I've rambled on enough about this one. The game's already finished. I've been chatting for goodness knows how many hours. So let's end this one right here, right now. Thank you everybody for tuning in today and watching this game between Zodiac B and Black Angels eSports. It was an interesting one to start with, but right at the very end, Black Angels certainly ran away with it. At the end, securing themselves the 3 points that they needed. Well, to secure themselves that playoff spot and, of course, keep them in the runnings for position 1. But thank you very much, everybody, for joining me today. It's certainly been a good one. I hope you will look forward to your weekend. And possibly tomorrow at around 7 o'clock, I will be doing another cast for a different league. So be sure to stay tuned and drop me a follow if you haven't already, so you are notified as and when I go live with that one. For now, though, hope you will enjoy your Friday evening, and I will leave you with some ads as I sign off for the day. and go get a drink, go have a lie down, and go to sleep. Thanks all for tuning in, and I'll catch you all later. Ciao for now.